Do you believe this stuff that's coming out of your mouth? There's no way you do.
This was a credit card cuckold.
Love wins out in the end, you know?
Doug, I know you're down there by Springfield. I know you have a dog. Is your dog safe? Has he been eaten? How's everything going down there in Southwest Ohio?
The only dogs and cats I know that are being eaten in Ohio right now are the Bengals and the Browns.
Welcome back, everybody. Casey on Tap. This is Thursday, September the 12th of the year 2024. We are off and running with our football picks. We're off and running with our winners, our losers.
It was a rough week one for my Brownies.
I'm a lifelong Dallas Cowboy fan, and you're looking at a lifelong Cleveland Browns fan. And go ahead, Doug. I don't have anything. I've got nothing to say.
There's a little bit of a letdown in the fact that the Browns had so many starters out, 3 offensive linemen out. You know, obviously best running back again.
Yeah. That's
and so the offense was depleted. Our quarterback had no time to throw, and it was just a tough game from the start. We had a rough quarter and a half. We won the second half, and it was too little, too late. And you know, onward and upward.
You know, goodness prevails. The Browns were so bad. I mean, Dallas didn't even play offense in the second. It was just and you know, for all of you who put your hard-earned money, you got everything you deserved. You got everything you deserved. Vegas opened with the Cowboys minus the 1.5. The Paul Browns, the Brown family who owns the Bengals, so they're still called the Browns. Fantastic. As per usual, by halftime, the place was emptied out. It was a Cowboys home game. The Boo Birds were in full effect. John Watson sucked. He sucked so bad. He sucked so bad. Jameis Winston might be the quarterback in the second half of Jackson.
Absolutely not. 0% chance.
All right. Oh, boy, what a what a win. What a win. Wow. I mean, wow, it was fun. Let's hope our special guests arrives at some point. We don't really know, but you know, all we can do is try. Let's get to the fan feedback. Douglas, what do you say? Let's get to Frank from Kirtland Hills. Casey, episode 17 was riveting, really good. Hung on to every word. Thank you, Frank. And then Brian from Lima, Ohio, wanted to give Doug his props, basically saying Doug was a fantastic quarterback in his day. You know, Dom and I were kind of, Dom wasn't. Who was it? Ed and I. We're piling on a little bit. Doug was a fantastic quarterback in his day, and if he didn't turn out to be a professional golfer, he would have been a fantastic quarterback at this next level as well. So Brian from Lima wanted to give you your props as an athlete, which, by the way, I would never take. You're an idiot when it comes to being a sports fan. As an athlete, and I love you as a friend, in the world of sports, you are a moron. And I say that with love. You're a hell of an athlete, hell of a basketball player. You're in Lima Central Catholic Hall of Fame. I mean, yeah. So you want to thank Brian for those flowers? You needed some flowers, didn't you? Right about now.
It feels good. You know, Brian was a great player in his own right. So that, you know, it's very very warm to hear. Very warm to hear. And you sit there and say moron. I mean, obviously we'll get to the recaps.
In the world of sports, not in life.
3-0 last week college football. You know, 4-2 on the week. So let's just settle down. You and I together.
I was 2-1 in college football, 3-0 in the NFL. Is 5-1 on the week. So
we were 9-3 as a tandem. That's pretty strong for the people.
I will have you know.
And we're here for the people.
We are here for the people. Yes, we are.
And the bottom line is, when it comes to gambling, the idea is to win more than you lose. So if you go 4-2,
no, I understand.
If you go 4-2 every week, you're gonna be having a blessed Christmas. Let's put it that way.
I went 5-1 last week. I want to be very clear. That won't happen.
I understand.
That won't happen. That won't happen again all year. It won't. I won't come close.
You followed up your 0-3. You followed up your 0-3 with 5-1.
That's right. No, I'm just telling you, it won't happen. I'm just saying, it won't happen again. It won't happen again. And I'm going to tell you this right now, Doug. You know this feeling. I happen to be, because I want to be clear to everybody out there. We're going to give you winners. I do not wager real money. I just don't. It's so much more fun this way. And I happen to be walking by the television, and I heard the commentators, which, by the way, the new commentators for the Big Ten, the old CBS guys, right? It's kind of weird. Brad Nessler and the other guy. I heard him say, it's 13-0 Iowa at halftime, and boy, could have been a lot worse. Iowa had 1st and goal from the 2 and 1st and goal from the 3. And they had to settle for field goals. I heard that. And if you've ever gambled or do gamble, you know exactly what I felt, what was happening. I mean, as soon as he said that, I went, oh boy. You know what I'm talking about, Doug? Like the kiss of death.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know it's coming back the other way.
God. It was like, and then I was 0-1 right out of the gate. It was Iowa. And then I went on my little. So, again, not to make excuses, but boy, Iowa. What the hell? Iowa. How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest did get the messages. He just popped in. For those of you watching on YouTube, this handsome gentleman over there to the right side of my screen, he is the VP of hype for the Kerry Croft Show. He is the assistant to the assistant VP of hype for the KC on Tap platform. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dominic Rose. Dominic Rose, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
We've got you. You're very welcome. Thanks for being here. We've got you here on land. We've got you in a room. Instead of, you made the valiant effort on a cruise ship. Technical difficulties. Here we are. Say hi to the people. How the hell are you over there?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the cruise ship, which was sailing right through Satan's taint, and called in last week, and apparently I didn't make the cut. Maybe that will make the cut.
I didn't know. You didn't tell me you were cruising through Brown Stadium. I didn't know that that's where.
Hey, huh? Hey, I will say this: if you haven't already let the audience know about the text stream of you ripping on the Browns and Deshaun Watson,
please, no,
and Wade continuing to throw gas on the fire.
He's a moron.
And if for all of you out in the audience, there's a wise man known as Billy Ray Cyrus, who once quoted as saying, "It's like dog shit. The more you step in it, the more it's going to stink." Doug has not learned that lesson. Just let it go.
Dom, how about the one where he was like, I was out doing some work with some guys. I was
a member meeting.
I didn't even
member meeting.
I wasn't even watching the game. Oh my God! Would you? Now, is that how it would have been, Dom, if it was going the other way?
No.
Hey, hold on a sec. First of all, you did know that I had a meeting at work at Sunday at 4:30. We had talked about that earlier in the week. However, of course, I knew the score. I was joking around. I knew we were getting destroyed. And
who's we? You got a couple mice there in your pocket? Who the hell's we? Shut the hell up.
And my brethren.
Your brethren. You need to find some new brethren, brother.
Anybody who watched that Titans-Bears game. I mean, Caleb, talk about accurate. I was all over Caleb Williams in his week 1 performance. The guy threw for 83 yards to cover that 3.5 point spread, which cost me a 2-1 NFL day and 5-1 weekend. Just ridiculous. With that being said, there were some incredible things that happened last weekend and some positive things. One of the most glorious games I have ever witnessed happened on Saturday evening.
Okay.
Where the Huskies of Northern Illinois, 28-point underdogs, plus 20,000 on the money line.
It's the same or worse than App State versus Michigan.
This one was extra special because, the hot take, Notre Dame, upset Texas A&M last week. And just for this to come around and hit.
I mean, Notre Dame, what the hell's going on with that team? I mean, I hate Notre Dame as much as anybody, but do they just stink?
They stink.
Yeah.
They're constantly overrated.
Get it, man. Boy.
But this year more than most. That they lost some key offensive weapons, and they, the transfer portal, the quarterback, the offense. It was just how people had them ranked so high just didn't make much sense.
Well, they got that kid from Duke. They got that quarterback from Duke everybody was talking about.
Yeah, and he's struggling.
Well, what the hell did he ever do? Everyone's talking about this quarterback from Duke. Duke football. Rhymes with puke. Okay, thank you. I'm here all night.
What are the, did we ever get the odds on the khakis? Which, by the way, that was cut out of the last episode. I would like credit for asking the odds.
The whole thing was cut out. You were sailing through Satan's taint. Dom did ask. Jimmy Football didn't wear those khakis, Doug. He wore some weird navy pants. Yeah, well.
Now, I had asked, do you think there's a prop bet? What are the odds? And both of you said, that's ridiculous. He always wears khakis. He said he'll never not wear khakis.
Yeah, I did. And I was Huh. For the first time since fourth grade, I was wrong. I was wrong in fourth grade once. I was asked to spell the word failure, and I didn't. I had no idea what the word was. So I remember that one too. So you're right. I was wrong there. What was our record combined?
We were 9-3 combined.
9-3.
We were 5-1 in college, and we were 4-2 in the pros.
Not too shabby, ladies and gents. And we are going to provide you more winners tonight with our special guest and VP of Hype and great friend, Dominic Rose. Amigos, what do you say? Let's go right to it.
Alabama versus Wisconsin. Wisconsin is getting 16 at home. Tough environment. That's a lot of points.
Huh?
You got who's the coach? God.
Fickle. Luke
Fickle's the coach. Great coach.
That just tells you how much of an impact he's had there. It's like, wait, who's the coach there again? Yeah, Fickle. Maybe he ought to bring Freeman's ass back to be an assistant. Try to get his mojo back a little bit.
Could do that. So I got Wisconsin plus 16. You want me to do all three? I'll do all three. Now,
sure.
I am actually flipping here. I'm taking the team up north minus 23 versus Arkansas State. It's not for me. It's for the fans.
It's for the people.
You guys want to make money? Let's make money.
It's for the people.
It's for the people.
And if you're going to do that, just say Michigan then. Because if you're doing it for the people, if you're being a man of the people, just say the word Michigan. Because if you say the team up north, it makes you sound like you're being a homer. Doug likes to, a lot of times Doug, that's the only reason Doug's not 100%, because Doug knows his stuff. His emotion gets in the way.
Look at the man. Does he look emotional to you? He's cold as ice.
Well, let me just tell you this. He's behaving. He knows what happened Sunday. He knows what happened Sunday. And he's behaving well tonight. Because he knows it could be a lot worse. And yes, I saw his face. It made me sad. Because Browns fans are pathetic. They're pathetic. My God, they are the worst. And he's better than that. He's so much better than to be a Browns fan. It hurts my heart. Go ahead, Dom.
Well, let's give credit where credit is due. He did call out Deion Sanders. Let's not forget. Is this true that Deion told the band not to play so that they could play his son's rap song?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh yeah. So that's the new story is after if Sanders scores a touchdown, he doesn't want the band to play the fight song because they want his new solo rap song to be played in the stadium.
Don't
hate the play. I mean, Deion's a 1-year rental there. People are now catching on to what I said.
He's trying to squeeze all the juice out of that.
No question. God love him.
Do you think is this song going to be an NFL quarterback? I mean,
absolutely. Yeah, he's a top 10 pick.
Okay, because I really don't. I mean, you can't really tell.
Yeah, he's a top 10 pick.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Dom.
We got to give credit where credit's due there. Doug did call that.
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, look, I'd want my song played if I scored a touchdown too. I'd be like, play my song.
You cannot coach a team with your son on the team as a team sport and be giving favors to your child. That is. You want to talk about it? You want to talk about an absolute poisonous pill?
Nepotism is alive and well.
Don't act like that's no big deal, and you would do it.
I would do it in a heartbeat. Hey, play my song. Hey, play my boy's song.
Hey, give it up. Case goes 0-12 for the season, but they've
lost 8 straight FBS games.
But damn it, he got those songs played, didn't he? I got Boston College plus 16 over Mizzou.
Ooh, it's 16.5, by the way. I'm looking at it right here live.
O'Brien is on it.
Boston College is on my list. The only reason I didn't take them is because they're coming off a big win.
Yep.
But they're strong this year.
All right, Dom. So you got whiskey, BC. Okay. And what's your third one?
Michigan.
Oh, excuse me, in Michigan. Okay. All right. Good job, bud. Douglas?
A lot of rivalry games on the card. And I've got 2 of them as my 3 picks. The first one is Washington State versus Washington. Washington State, the Cougars are now 4.5-point underdogs to Washington. That's too many points. Washington State's offense is really, really good this year. The Washington University is not near the team they were last year. Obviously, I like Washington State not only to cover the 4.5, but I think they've got a great shot to win this game outright. Second play is writing on one of Casey's hot takes. Utah State game.
Right.
I bet against Utah State last week with USC, and I'm betting against them again this week.
Right.
The line came out at 23, It's been bet all the way down to 18 points.
Yep.
Utah minus 18 is ridiculous.
Yep.
They will have that covered at halftime, just like I said USC would against Utah State last week.
Yep.
Utah State is terrible. And I know it's a rivalry game and they're typically a little closer, but give me the Utes minus 18 against Utah State.
The two Utes? All right.
The last play, the
two Utes? Did you say Utes?
The Utes. My last play. I've got another teaser, and I almost took one of the teams just minus the points, but the teaser fell so perfectly, and I really like this play. LSU is currently a 7-point favorite against South Carolina. I'm going to take LSU down to -1 to win that game. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, but LSU, after that loss to USC, they're a very well-coached team. I like LSU to pull that game out, and I'm going to couple that game in the Florida State-Memphis game. Florida State is 6.5-point favorites against Memphis. As bad as Florida State is, I cannot comprehend the fact that they're going to go 0-3. They have got enough talent on defense to keep Memphis scoreless, and if they can just get 3 points, they ought to win that game. So being able to take Florida State down to -0.5 point and teaming them up with LSU at -1 is my third play of the college football. Looking for a repeat 3-0 weekend.
Okay, I like these.
You think Chip Kelly's a good coach?
Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator for Ohio State, of course.
Not Chip
Brian Kelly. He's on Brian Kelly. I knew you might. Yeah, I was thinking Brian Kelly too.
Brian Kelly is a very good coach. Yes.
He's all right. So here are my 3 plays. The first pick. We're going to go to Kentucky, and on Saturday on game days, the third biggest city in the state of Kentucky is Commonwealth Stadium. Okay, the people come. They go watch the game. So it goes Lexington, Louisville. On Saturday, Commonwealth Stadium is the most populated place in the state of Kentucky. They're hosting the Georgia Bulldogs, and they're getting the 22.5 points. It's a lot of candy. Halloween's coming up. You know how the kids come up to your door and they're like, "Where's the candy? The candy's gone. Not enough candy." The Georgia Bulldogs cover that 22.5 easily. You understand me? There's not enough candy. They need to reload the candy there. Not enough. Georgia Bulldogs pick number 1. Speaking of one of the most unlikable human beings in sports, Brian, don't call me Chip Kelly. The LSU Tigers will cover the 6.5 points in South Carolina. Okay, I hate it. I hate everything about it.
Yeah,
but it's true. Last but certainly not least, ladies and gentlemen, you haven't heard much about the Purdue Boilermakers this year, and rightfully so. They stink like poo, but they're at home against the limping, hurting, sorry, fighting Marcus Freeman's, laying the 9.5. It's too many. It's too many points. That's my underdog special of the week. It's the Purdue Boilermakers plus the 9.5 at home against Notre Dame. So we've got Georgia, LSU, and Purdue. Those are my three college plays. What do you think, boys? Am I off my rocker?
Obviously, I like the LSU play. We're on the same side there, and I do like the Georgia play. The Purdue one's an interesting take. I would not take Purdue in that if I had to bet it, but we'll see.
I know.
I hope you're right.
It's dicey. I know. It's dicey at best. Welcome back, everybody. Notre Dame up 42-3 at halftime. I've been in that position many times, too. All right, Dom, what do you got for the NFL?
Guaranteed money, and I'll tell you why this is guaranteed, because I know the team well. I know them with every ounce of my being. I will give you a story. I was at the – does everyone remember the Minneapolis Miracle?
Yeah.
What do you remember from that?
I lost money because they didn't kick that extra point. Oh, that hurt me bad. 5.5. They were a 5.5 point favorite. And he threw that pass. It was Case Keenum, and he hit Stephon Diggs for the miracle touchdown.
No, they did kick the extra point.
No, they didn't.
I was there. Case, go back and look at. They literally had to bring him back on the field.
I know they did. And then they took a knee.
Oh, did they?
They did. I still feel that fucking sting. Oh, wow. Boy, did that hurt.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
It hurt. Because can you imagine that? This is why I don't gamble anymore. No, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
Okay.
Douglas, they were 5.5 point favorites when he because had he ran across that goal line with once, yeah, but that was back. These idiots, they knelt down. Okay, go ahead, Dom. Yeah. The answer is yes. I remember that game.
Okay. The Vikings were up 21-0 at halftime. Everyone.
That's right.
Expectations are up here. High-fiving, drinking with strangers. The entire second half was an absolute draining of a shit show. Half the stadium had emptied out. It was like a blood going out of a vein with Drew Brees just marching down the field. And I just went like this in my seat. And it is exactly what the Vikings do. They lift you up to bring you down. If it wasn't for the miracle, they never would have won. Therefore, somehow they pull out. They pull out. It's a great time. They pull out a big win last week, 28-6. Come out of nowhere. Now, granted, the Giants are hot garbage.
They stink.
But that's still a pretty good score.
The Sam Darnold show, baby.
Sam Darnold show.
Yep.
This is guaranteed money. I'm going to take the 49ers -5 over the Vikes. That's guaranteed.
Guaranteed. In Minnesota.
Yeah. That is how much of a kick you between the legs kind of team that is.
It's 5.5 right now. Oh. You still want it?
And yep. We're going with the hooks.
Okay.
Next, I'm going to go with the Washington Redskins -1.5.
The Washington Commanders.
I call them Skins. Versus the New York Giants. And then I got the old Lions, Detroit -7.5 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right there. Guaranteed money.
Okay.
Douglas.
The Lions -7.5. You got Washington at home. Oh, wow. Okay. And then your other one was San Fran. Okay, go ahead, Douglas.
Well, I'll start off with I've got one opposing Dom, so I'll start off with that one. I'll take Tampa Bay getting 7.5 points against Detroit. That's ridiculous. First of all, Tampa Bay is better than the Rams, and they're arguably better than the Lions. They are an incredibly strong team, and they are a threat to go deep this year. 7.5 points is too many. They've got a great shot to win that game outright, especially with Detroit coming off a big win. That's just way too many points. I mean, Detroit might win a close one since they're at home, but give me the 7.5 points in that game. Next we'll go on to the Jets Tennessee game, and I have learned my lesson already here in week 1. I will never bet on those Titans of Tennessee ever again. They are terrible.
Can we just revisit one more time? What was Will Levis? What was that? What was that? He threw it like underhand. Oh, Doug.
The Jets. It's tough. I mean, Rodgers' first game back, he's got to go all the way across country, play San Francisco, who many would consider the best team in the NFL. They showed glimpses of some good stuff. They had some drop passes. I think that the talent, I know we talked about this a few weeks back, but I think the talent with the Jets is still there. I see them bouncing back with a nice win this week. 4 points just doesn't seem like too many. I like the Jets to win by about a touchdown in that game. And the next game, you'll notice a trend in the NFL. If I have one suggestion or recommendation for the NFL is whatever seems glaringly obvious to you,
right?
Do the opposite.
Yep.
Any team coming off a big win, do not bet on them. Any team coming off a horrendous loss,
the NFL
take them the following week.
It is. It's tough.
It is almost clockwork. And there's multiple teams that fall in that, but I'm going to a game that has been a rivalry here for the last 2 or 3 years, and one team has had the others multiple times. And I will take the Bengals getting 6 points against the Chiefs. They've got their number.
5.5 on FanDuel.
The Chiefs are one of those squads that they just find ways to win games. Very rarely do they blow opponents out.
It's 5.5. You want it at 5.5? That's what we're going with.
FanDuel's 5.5. DraftKings is 6. But yeah, I mean that's fine.
We're all going on this. I'm looking at it right now, and it's
my suggestion would be to those that bet online is if you do see it at 5.5, buy it to 6. That's an important number. It's only going to cost you minus 10% in juice. So
okay, but so we're not doing. Your pick is okay. The spread is 5.5. The spread is 5.5.
I understand. I want a +6. I would never bet him. I wouldn't bet him at 5.5 simply because it's stupid. I'd take it to 6 at minus 120. Okay. It's worth the extra 10 juice.
Okay.
And again, you only pay juice if you lose. So I like the Bengals, and there's multiple. I mean, Bengals are down and out right now. Nobody can comprehend them hanging with Kansas City. That's going to be a great game. Bengals very well could win that game. Give me the Bengals +6.
Does the Jamar Chase drama play into that one or no?
I think Chase has a big game.
So it's interesting. Like Doug said, some of these lines. It's in the NFL is just so whack. Dominic, the San Fran minus the 5 at Minnesota, it looks it's so it looks I can only pick 3. That's a great one. I mean, there's a lot. What about what's going on with the Packers right now with that Jordan Love? I know, but he's out. So the Colts are a 3-point favorite at Lambeau. I mean, that's okay. Here are my picks. I had the Chiefs as one of my picks. I will not do that though. I don't want to go against and I've got other plays. So the Chiefs are no longer on my top 3. They just got subbed out. I got some good ones here. Number 1, the first pick is Jimmy Football in the Chargers. The Carolina Panthers they're atrocious. They're atrocious. Yes, I know the San Diego, nay, LA Superchargers have to go cross country. I don't care. Laying the 4.5 Chargers at Carolina. Pick number 2. I will continue to ride my quarterbackless champions. The Pittsburgh fighting Mike Tomlins. Boy, did that defense look nasty in Atlanta. And let me tell you what they're going to do to Bo Nix up there in the mountains. The Pittsburgh Steelers are minus the 2.5 against Bo Nix. I'll take. Give me TJ. All right. In my third and final pick, I despise this team with all my soul.
Don't do it then, because it's a loser. I know who you're going to say.
I have to take.
This is not a winner.
I have to take Fly Eagles Fly.
It's not a winner. I almost took the Falcons. They were next on my board.
Well, Doug, I'm glad. You can take the Falcons. I stayed off the Chiefs. Let me tell you, my winner is the Chiefs against the Bengals. But I'm staying off that because I don't want to get short.
You're doing exactly what Joe Public does. They take the obvious picks: the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Eagles. Those are all Public Joe plays right there.
Did anybody give any commentary? We're just all giving our picks. Dom, did I miss something? Was this
I'm just upset about this.
Dom, why am I getting?
No, he's buying half points. He's going next level.
Right.
You know.
He's
got that capability.
You know what I'll do? I'm going to buy 8 points. I'm going to take the Steelers plus 7. Moron.
No.
Okay,
I do like the Steelers play though. God, that pains me to see. That's a great play.
Thank you.
I just can't say Pittsburgh out loud like that. That's just not right.
I know it. All right.
Hey, how good is Justin Fields at quarterback? Casey, would you fill us in on this?
Not bad.
Because I was not able to watch this game. I couldn't see it in person.
Here's what's going on with Justin Fields. He is perfect for Pittsburgh. He's going to go. Here's what Tomlin's saying to this guy. He's saying, here's what we need from you. Like, look what Tua did tonight. Tomlin's like, listen, and I mean this. We need you to go 12 for 20, 150 yards. Do not turn the ball over. So I was kind of on him. I was on him pretty rough, because just for the fun of it the other day. But Justin Fields isn't going to be, he's not a big time NFL quarterback. He's perfect for the Steelers, what they're doing right now. So, all right, those are my picks. The Steelers, the LA Superchargers, and the Eagles on Monday night, minus the 6.5.
Bold.
I don't know if I like that pick very much either, but what can you do? I mean, it'd be too easy if I just won them all. All right, boys. Do we have time? We have a couple minutes here for the mailbag. We do. We have those two questions.
The mailbag has to happen.
All right. So we've got a quick couple of questions. It's what the people need the mailbag. We will start again. You guys, now we've got questions lined up, but these are from last week that didn't get, right? So again, we go Greg from Troy. This is the third time they're going to do this, but we'll get there because this one's funny. This is a really good one. What's up, guys? A friend of mine from Dayton introduced me to the pod. I love it. Hopefully you read my question in the next mailbag segment. Then again, hopefully not. LOL. Bottom line is, I just started because then we did the whole oops. Okay. Bottom line is, I just started seeing someone and it's going really well, or should I say it was going really well. We've hung out several times. Things progressed nicely. Last night was dropping her off. And this is a couple weeks ago now because, so hopefully he'll update us. Was dropping her off at her apartment, leaned over for a goodnight kiss in the car, accidentally let out a sharp, short, fast, loud fart. You know the type. The second part of that question. There it is. And to make matters worse, it smelled really, really bad. It just smelled awful instantly. It just happened so fast. She dry heaved and said, "Oh my God, talk tomorrow. Good night," before ejecting swiftly. I've never been so humiliated in my life. We've texted a bit, but it feels off. Any advice?
Who wants to go first? I mean, I have my opinion.
Guest speaker always goes first.
Okay, well, look, you said some important. We skipped over a lot of important things here. First, a fast and smelly fart.
Yeah. At
the same time, those are unique. Those are like one-off. Usually, you kind of you get a couple early on and they trickle out. I mean, those are the real stinky ones. To have it immediately go without being able to hold it, and then that is a rarity, maybe the 1 in 1,000 fart. It's a sign. You're not going to get over that. Not in the early stages. When she sees you,
rough.
She's going to smell that. I mean, it's sense. Yep. They say this. I can still smell the halls of St. Charles. Okay? She's going to smell his ass every time she thinks of him. There is not enough equity built up. Say 6 months, 7 months, to have other memories of him that might wash that away. Buddy, Craig, I got to tell you, you got to move on. You got to move on. You may be surprised. She may text you 3 weeks later, and somehow the smell's out of her mouth. Maybe it's a miracle. I bet that's there's no beating a speedboat fart from God to tell you to get out of that relationship.
All right. He doesn't need to bail for the simple fact that he doesn't want to bail. Let her make that decision. All right. So if she wants to now the fact he said they've texted a few times and things feel off. At least they're texting. At least they're communicating. He's got to buy some time here. He's got to switch it up. He's got to make her laugh. He's got to do something to progress this relationship. This, no pun intended, can't just linger over them. Okay, we've got to figure out what we can do to progress from here. He doesn't need to give up. There's no reason to give up. Now, is he asking us? Does he think it's going to be okay? I mean, my God, Greg. I mean, really, bro, you're in trouble. But go down with a fight if you're going to go down. I mean, we all know smells are rough, but good Lord, I think that he's got to confront it at some point, but he's also got to make her laugh. He's going to have to pick up his game quick. Like, he's got to make her really second guess what she's thinking in her head right now, because what she's thinking in her head is not a positive. So get on it, start moving, actions. All right, Case, what you got?
Yeah. You both make great points.
No, I'm just going to recall the wise Billy Ray Cyrus. You keep stepping in it, the more it's going to stink. The more he tries, the more she's just going to think about that. Now, if he disappears, maybe text her once a week, then maybe she's like, oh wow, maybe he doesn't like me.
Well, yeah, but I'm not sure they're that route. It's more of that she's got this, oh my God, this smell and this memory in her head, like you said. He's going to have to provide bigger, more important memories right now. He's got to change the subject. Change the subject, bro.
Yeah, she's in a state of shock right now, and it's his job to get her out of it. He needs the defibrillator. Yeah. She's in a state of shock. He needs to zap. He needs to get her back on track. There's a saying, never trust a fart. It usually has to do with sharding and things. But a fart is not to be trusted on a level ever, whether he meant for it to come out or not. As Dom said, a speedboat fart from God. Farts are they're not good. They're not good for anybody ever, especially when it comes to intimacy. I will give the example of one of my dear, dear friends, and this is a true story, and I'll leave it at this. Was in the 69 position with a woman. It's a true story. Doug knows the story.
I know.
He was in the 69 position, and the next morning he and I were eating breakfast together. And something was off. I'm like, yeah, what's the matter? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. He's like, no, it's not okay. Okay, it's not okay. And then he proceeded to tell me he's in the 69 position with this woman, and they went to roll. And so you can imagine, and they went to roll over, and then and it went. Her sphinx was right here, and it went into his nostril, down his throat, and it dissipated in his body. Okay, and he called it a shit missile.
He ate
it. Through her sphinx was because he's and it went right, and she didn't mean to. He's like squeezing her. It went into his head, and the fart it dissipated in his body like he ate it. And so here's what happened. It went, oops, yep.
No.
Truth is, hand of God. It went. She went, oops. He went, yep. Into the bathroom, vomiting. He
vomited.
He had a shit missile. In imagine a fart. Not the smell. It wasn't even born yet. The fart went in, and then it was all in here. It's a true story. It's a true story. So here's the moral of the story. They never saw each other. That is cataclysmic, Greg, from Troy. What you did, not quite a ship missile, but it was pretty damn close. All right, so the boat might be rocking, maybe half sinking. If you want to save it, I don't know, Febreze. I don't know what you do, but just know that it's not good. I guess really is the bottom line. We're not in a good spot here. You could start again, not like no pun intended, like Doug. You could start fresh with another girl.
When we get our Casey on Tap apparel line going out,
oh yeah,
this is another one to add to the collection. There's going to be a cloud on the front of the shirt with the word "oops" underneath it, and on the back it's going to say "yep."
Hashtag hashtag oops. Yep. Shit missile. All right. Listen, it happens. Flatulence. It's it sucks. It sucks, but flatulence. You just got to be careful. All right, you got to be careful. All right. Question number 2, and we'll get you out of here. From Ashley, 28 years old, Frankfort, Kentucky. I need help. How do I tell my boyfriend he's really bad at giving oral sex? He wants to do it all the time, and he thinks, in quotes, all caps, he's good at it, but really is not. How do I fix this? Thank you, Ashley.
My opinion before was for Ashley to, in mid-act, guide, suggest, not bring it up outside of the act. Maybe it's a little bit more confrontational that way. Mid-act, just grab a hand, move it one way. He'll get the hint. I'm not saying that that's happened to me before, but it's happened to me before.
It's happened to me.
So, I mean, it works.
You're coachable. Douglas, what do you got?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like she's worried about hurting his confidence or
his ego,
his bravado. Yeah. So the only thing you can do is while you're in action, okay, yeah, that's not bad, but let's try this and try to paint that picture where it's somewhat his idea as well. Get him in the position that you want, and then once you get him to the spot where he's doing what you want, you need to emphatically tell him how great that is, so he starts to understand. Yes, this is where I want you. This is where I need you. And if all else fails, you're going to have to be direct at some point and just say, hey, this isn't working. Here's what we want. Come on. You got to kind of, I don't want to say man up, but you got to step up and you got to, be the adult in the room and get her done.
Doug, you're advocating like a Pavlov's dog. You're advocating like she should have some like delicious morsels or treats when he's doing the right thing. You reward him. It's like having a puppy. It's like, good boy, good boy,
yes.
good boy.
And us as the puppies would agree that snacks are great. Yes.
No, I like that. But here, just think about it though. Like, some guys are so weird about stuff like this, and they're, so I understand like her, some guys are just, we've all had friends like that. Like, oh man, oh, listen, hopefully he's receptive to some sort of feedback because, I like to get down there personally. I like to get down there and I just like to just go ahead and just get myself I put a pillow down for my like my knees, like, so I get cozy, and I roll her up like this. I get ready to, and I'm just right there, and I just say, I look up and I say, teach me, baby. Just I'm just about to, I got my fork, my knife, my napkin. I got time. My phone's on do not disturb. Got an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm hungry, baby. Just show me the way, and then cut scene. Nom, 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 nom. Like, imagine the Cookie Monster. Just what do you, that's my this. Yeah, I like both of what they're saying. I mean, basically, actually, what they're saying is Dom and Doug are saying reward the good behavior. Whether it's move the hand over yourself gently. And Doug saying when he does hit that elusive spot, if he's sitting there sucking on your inner thigh and you're saying that's not where we need to be right, or your belly button, God forbid. Well, he might be in the brown, which that's not a bad, there's a lot of nerve. Listen, I'm down. It's okay. That's okay too. Roll up a little, whoop, a little higher. But before that happens, you got to make sure it's all cleaned out. Revisit episodes. We talk about that. All right. So yeah, I just think hopefully he's coachable. Maybe put some strawberry preserves right there on the that elusive clitoris. Maybe just take a little dab of like peach preserves, and or maple syrup, whatever his favorite.
That is actually genius, because then he just goes right to the
whatever his favorite flavor is. There it is. You put it right there. Do you see?
It's next level.
And then he's like, wait, is that maple syrup? She's like, it is. Wait, she's like, I noticed when you taste other areas, you don't taste the maple syrup, but right back up here. Oh, there it is. One more time. All right, boys. And on that note, Douglas, as per usual, my friend, the world needs your the world needs your maple syrup. The world needs your knowledge. Doug, what do you have for the people today? The forum is yours, my friend. Lay it on them.
Well, I'm just going to reiterate kind of what I said earlier and get back into the betting world here. When it comes to the NFL, you've got to stay away from the obvious plays. All right, you've got to stay away from the obvious plays. You've got to take the plays that make you uncomfortable if you want to win money, because those are the ones that are typically going to hit. The NFL is a rare bird. Nothing's 100%. That's rule number 2. There's no such thing as a lock. There is no such thing as a lock, except for the Buckeyes over the Wolverines this year. But other than that, that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, for Dominic Rose, for Doug Wade, my name is Casey, and remember, keep on trying until you find that maple syrup. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. This is the Casey on Tap platform where anything goes. Good night and good luck.